It's not exactly been a dream start for the Conservatives conference.
I'll speak to UKIP MEP Nathan Gill, whose party is giving the Tories a headache.
As we've heard, UKIP are causing problems for the Tories. But are they Labour's problem too? UKIP leader Nigel Farage said the party is parking its tanks on Labour's lawn and is emerging as the main opposition to Labour in Wales. That was his message at the UKIP conference in Doncaster this weekend, where he also unveiled a range of income tax cuts. Nathan Gill is the UKIP MEP for Wales and is in our Bangor studio. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with these defections. Are you tapping up any Welsh MPs, Nathan Gill?
Well, you know, we're not just parking our tank on the lawn of Labour. We're planning on driving our tank through the valleys as well. And I personally am not tapping up any Labour MPs, but I'm sure Nigel Farage is in conversation with them. He's indicated that that's the case. So we're looking forward to hearing some more exciting announcements in the future.
What about some Welsh Tories? David Jones apparently has declined your invitations.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what we really believe in. And do we really believe in Great Britain, in giving the people what they actually want, or do we believe in party loyalty? And for those politicians who, as Conservatives as well as Labour, who ran on manifestos claiming that they were going to cut the deficit, cut the immigration into this country, get us out of the EU, they are absolutely unable to do that under Conservatives or Labour. The only way is for them to be honest and admit that UKIP are the only game in town when it comes to this.
Last week we published a poll which showed that your party has picked up a noticeable amount of support in Wales, up 7 points actually, putting you in third place for the general election. How much of that is down to Europe?
Well, you know, I think initially we were obviously the party, the one issue that everybody talked about was the EU. But now, as we've discovered in the Scottish referendum, there is a great deal of disconnect between Westminster and the people of Britain. Whether it's in Scotland, whether it's in England or here in Wales, people just don't seem to connect with Westminster. They vote for these MPs, they go over there, and then all they seem to do is represent their own parties. We want MPs that actually represent the people of the constituencies and what we want. And so, uncontrolled, unlimited immigration, just as an example, people are furious about it, because if you can't get housing, local housing, if your job, you know, is dependent on the job market, and if there's a never-ending stream of cheap labour, well, no wonder people are finding it hard to find work. People want politicians to stand up for the British people first, and the only party that's able to do that is UKIP. Let's
look at Europe and the in-out referendum that David Cameron has offered. 14% support in Wales suggests that you could tip the balance in some constituencies against the Conservatives, making it less likely that they'll get a majority, less likely that there'll be a referendum on European Union, so on the European Union.
Well, the Conservatives don't deserve another term in office, do they? I mean, what they've done is a disgrace. They've sold us out time and time again. And as Mark Reckless and Douglas Carswell have said when they defected from the Conservatives to UKIP, basically, it's all a ruse. They're going to do, Mr Cameron wants to do exactly what Mr Wilson did in the 70s and have a sham of a renegotiation, a loaded referendum question. It doesn't matter. It's crucial that there are UKIP MPs in Westminster, that we hold the balance of power and that we can make sure that we actually do get a free and fair referendum on the big issue that matters to everyone, the European Union.
But surely better that referendum than no referendum at all is what some voters will be thinking if they are Eurosceptics. Bizarrely, voting for UKIP could make it even more remote a prospect.
Not so, and we've said all along, Miliband's in trouble, and we think, we're quite confident that he's going to have to accept the fact that the people of Britain want a referendum, and is going to have to offer that before the general election next year. So we're saying it doesn't matter if you vote Conservative, it doesn't matter if you vote Labour, they'll give you the same old, you will get a sham referendum. It's crucial that if you vote UKIP, you get UKIP, and that we get into Westminster. That's where we can make all of the difference.
If UKIP is about more than Europe, let's look at some of the income tax policies that Nigel Farage has unveiled. Cuts in every tax band, no income tax all the way up to £13,500. How would you pay for all of this?
Well, isn't it crucial that people who are on a minimum wage, why are they paying tax? It's just ridiculous. We know that we pay £55 million a day to the European Union.
Everything comes back to the European Union, doesn't it?
But on top of that, we're paying £21 million a day in foreign aid. And this is a disgrace when there's 21,000 people here in North Wales who rely on food banks. What we're saying is we will cut that foreign aid budget. We'll reduce it to £1 billion a year, which is basically twice...
And would that be enough to pay for your income tax cuts, or would you still need to pull out of the EU?
Well, no, obviously we're going to pull out the EU as well. That's what we're all about. So we'll save £55 million a day from that. But there's also other areas. You know, we believe strongly that a pound spent by a British citizen is much better than a pound spent by the British government.
I'm afraid we're out of time. Thanks for joining us.